Kane, Glenn Jacobs. What the fuck is he doing? Right. Let's just jump into it. The tweet stems from, of course, the ruling in America, which essentially sets. I mean, SB3 is the guy to talk to here, I guess, being an American, but something that stood for 50 years seems like it's gonna take America back in time, is it not?
Yes, they are basically taking a woman's right to choose away by abolishing the Roe versus Wade um Constitution Act, which I'm like there's been a couple of times since I've been here in the UK on my extended excursion. I like to say that I'm like Shadow Aminu in the UK. He didn't know he was going to stay that long, and then a pandemic happened and he stayed for like 2 years. That's me right now in the UK. But there's been times, a few times, there was the school shooting out in Texas, and then the latest one is this whole thing with, and there's been riots since then, there's been protests. This is times that I'm happy that I'm in the UK and not in America, because yeah, it's quite frightening that they can choose to do this. And a lot of this is down to people not voting back in 2016, which I always vote. If I have the opportunity, I'm in America, I always choose the opportunity to vote, because stuff like this can happen. And Kane has put his foot in it. This follows from just a few weeks back that he commented on the gun violence, referring to what happened in the school shooting in Texas, and now he's put his foot in it again, addressing and being basically pro taking a woman's right away. We are not the people to talk about a woman's
No, we're
right to
not.
choose.
We're not.
That and not even other women is the people to be talking about another woman's right to choose. It is all about their rights. I'm all for supporting women's rights, and Kane put himself into a situation once again. Glenn Jacobs, you know, you can talk more about the tweet though.
Well, so Glenn Jacobs, of course, being the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, said Roe versus Wade has been overturned. This clears the way for states like Tennessee to pass stronger protections for the unborn, and is an answer to the prayer for so many. Hashtag right to life. Hashtag victory. Essentially, what Kane is saying there is that the women, right, whatever the circumstances might be, once you're pregnant, game over, because obviously the baby then has rights to be born there or not. I mean, there's obviously a lot of circumstances within that. I was talking to my partner the other day, like, okay, even let's just take like rape and stuff like that out of the equation, which of course is a big one anyway, but let's just park it for a second. That's not the only reason why you might not have one. There are several reasons of why that could affect a woman's health or their capability to raise that child. There are so many different circumstances that really depends on what they think, not for any of us to judge, right? And the only thing that really bothers me about it, and bothered me about the Kane tweet, was that I've got two daughters, and the idea, I don't live in America, but the idea that they would be told what they can and can't do in that respect really actually grinds my gears, man. It kind of got under my skin when I read it. Like, the idea that it would be oppressed upon them what to do in that situation, or that they wouldn't have full directive, it's maddening to think about. And it, as especially a white male, it's really hard to understand, right? Like, how something that seems so conventional could be so difficult. I need to know, is there like a lucrative anti-abortion market in America? I don't physically understand what the deal is. Do you know what I mean? Like, is there something that I'm missing, like in American culture, where, well, there's a reason why these people want to pass these laws. It just seems like they just want to, it's maddening. I mean, I feel the same way about guns, to be honest. It would be nice if women had as many protections and regulations, or well, not regulations, but freedoms as guns. Imagine that. Like, I just to bring it back to Kane, right? Political things. but again, parked. Do you remember when everyone was saying how smart that guy was? Right? Remember when everyone was like, the smartest guy in the dressing room is Kane? Oh, what a great guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy. His views are his views. But like, I don't think, and I said this on Twitter, I don't think anybody has fallen more in recent years, estimation-wise, than Kane. In the wrestling community, for sure. Like, I mean, man, again, like we said, I remember Bryan Danielson being one of those who campaigned how much of a great thinker Kane is. These situations show their true colours, and it seems on the same side of the fence of Kane, by the way, is Linda McMahon, who has many, many tweets about pro-choice, right? Many, many examples of her being pro-choice. And she has Stephanie as a daughter, 3 granddaughters as well, by the way. All of a sudden, she's pro-life. These are all buzzwords, but you guys know where I'm going here. Sat, it's a bit maddening, isn't it? But are you surprised that some of these people like Linda and Kane have shown some true colours, I guess? I don't know.
Well, first of all, Triple H tried to warn us with Katie Vick that Kane was a wrong-un, up to no good.
Oh no.
All jokes aside, I wish we had women on here to talk about their situation. I'm definitely pro-choice. It's a woman's body. I think men should focus more on the vasectomy part, if they want to talk about procreation. It takes 2 to tango. We men focus on our part, leave women to do whatever they want to do. I think it's disgusting. And also, it kind of exposed Glenn Jacobs, as AMAC was trying to allude to, not a very smart man. It comes to a point where when wrestlers call him smart, the theory is now that low bar, it's now a low bar theory. Kane's not that smart. And anyone that says he's smart, their intellect must be less than his. I've come to a point where I'm no longer shocked when a wrestler shows their butt. They're human beings. They have their views, ugly or positive. So when Kane came out as a right-wing nut job like his kayfabe brother, I'm not really shocked at all. Anyone from, that part of the sphere of America, they've got their own religious beliefs and very right-wing and very Bible Belt. But yeah, I'm pro-choice. I wish it would be women talking. It's not lost on me, like SB3 said, 3 guys talking about it. But I think it was important for us to let people know we're in the women's corner. We're sorry that you're going through this. We're sorry on the behalf of our gender. Please feel free to chuck egg and kick guys in the nutsack. If you feel frustrated and mad, we support you.
Yeah, that is the main message, that that's where we are in unison on that side of the fence. Again, man, as a father of girls, which we all are, by the way, we want nothing more than their future to be in their hands and to have the greatest protections. It's maddening to me. That's all. And I usually, honestly, don't bite at political things on Twitter or whatever that are really out of your jurisdiction. You know how Twitter gets. Should you stick to wrestling? But in this instance, I feel very strongly about my own daughter's future, and I hope there's millions of Americans that feel the same. Because if this stands, that as a lot of people have mentioned, it's not a case of they're outlawing abortions; they're basically outlawing safe ones, which that's the thing to consider as well. I would say SB3, but you probably know the landscape of America better than I. It seems farcical, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't a good week for women, and that's why my heart goes out to them. And like you said, we're all fathers of daughters, so we're all girl dads in a way. So I'm a boy dad as well, but we all fear for their future. We all fear for their future, though, because of this. But I love the kind of universal response to Kane from a lot of people within the wrestling sphere, whether it's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, saying that that's why you wouldn't have made a good dentist, whether whether it's Paige who rips him apart and said, I used to look up to you, and now, you know, this trash makes me look at you a totally different way. I like the fact that, you know, women are speaking their mind and responding to that in the best way possible. So, like I said, we are all for pro-choice, and more importantly, it's always a woman's right. At the end of the day, it's their right to choose, in my opinion, because, like you said, Alex, there's so many other reasons besides, you know, just, you know, something as horrible as rape and, you know, having a child in that matter, to, you know, someone being able to not physically do that. Now they have to, and basically have to put themselves on death's doorstep because of someone else making a choice about their life.